Hello and welcome to the Stronger by the Minute podcast with me, Anthony Shaw, and in this episode I'm talking with Dean Maden, owner and coach at Functional Fitness in Loughborough. The guy is a beast and he can squat over 250 kilograms, and amongst other things we talk about how to squat correctly and how to get your mind right for strength gains. Enjoy. Dean, how's it going?
What's going on, my man?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. Good to talk to you.
Yes, mate. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, no worries, man. You'd be like the second guest, so it's going to be all good.
What do you say, the best?
Your brain. Yes, the best guest. So I went down to Dean's gym, I guess, 2 weeks ago, and
yeah, man,
just had some major breakthroughs in squatting technique and powerlifting and, man, everything. What to order at Nando's. It was quality. It was good laugh, man. So I think what I'd like to talk about, I suppose, is things that I've seen people struggling with in the gym, in my gym, what clients were having issues with, and just kind of really see if we can help some people get through some issues. So, like, something that I've noticed more and more is people just getting really emotional about eating and perhaps feeling guilty about it and then not training in the first place. Just, skipping sessions because they feel like shit. Then it goes into this downward spiral. So do you see that happening with your guys? Do you think it's a common thing, or do you have that happen personally where you'll have a bit of a downward spiral? And if so, how do you get yourself out of it?
Yeah, definitely we get it in our gym. I think anybody that would say they don't is wrong, or they'd be slightly bending the truth, which we all want to be cool, don't we, and say we have no problems. Yeah. But no, we do, man. We get it. I get it. I suppose talking from the member side of things, first of all, our guys, they want big changes. They want fast changes. They want changes that are happening overnight, don't they? It's natural. So I think one thing that we do to sort of help them with that side of things, to sort of help people stay on track long-term and short-term, is have long-term and short-term goals. So, like, tell them expectations that will be happening day to day, but also tell them actually, and help them understand their expectations of what they're going to be over a long period of time.
So what would an example of it be for, like, let's say someone's coming in, they're 4 or 5 stone overweight and they just feel like they just want to be shredded. They're 3 months in to any training program, yet they feel a bit frustrated that nothing's happened yet. Like, what's going on in that situation?
Well, I mean, obviously you could look at thinking like what their program is. Does it suit them? What their food is, does that suit them?
Yeah.
And sort of like try and break down what changes they are seeing and what changes they want to see.
Yeah.
And that's where you can sort of like tailor things, obviously, to, one, keep them happy, but two, keep the ball rolling overall. Because obviously as coaches, we know a little bit more than them, right?
Yeah.
So we know the vital things that need doing. Example, something that we were just chatting about before we went live on here, like if someone wants to squat heavy, they've got to mobilize, right? Some people don't want to mobilize. But, we can't just point blank in their face say, well, you don't want to mobilize, you're not going to be able to squat. We can't quite say it like that. So we throw it in different ways. And that's why I try and like do a little bit of what I need to do and do a little bit of what they like.
Yeah.
I think that's a good way of, another way of explaining that, I suppose, is I'm not a biceps man, right? Yeah. I hate doing that shit. But if you want to please somebody that likes to train biceps, although I don't like to train it, why don't we throw it in the program every so often just to keep them happy?
Yeah, yeah.
Doing the biceps, but are not going to help you get a big squat. They're not going to help you get a big deadlift. But it makes them happy. It keeps them, tickled, and it keeps them moving along.
Yeah, I think that's probably like a big part of fitness is people who are like not seeing the results they want and not enjoying it. The problem is that they're doing things that they will never enjoy. Like I always say to people, like, I know hill sprints are amazing for me to get shredded or for me to like be in the best condition possible. I should probably be running hill sprints, at least twice a week. but I hate
Yeah.
them. Hate them.
Yeah.
And I know that if I did them, I probably would do it once, be miserable, make up an excuse, and then never do it again. So it's actually more beneficial to go for a walk every day. And at the end of the week, I've actually probably burnt more / the same calories, but I've done it in a more enjoyable long-term way. So do you think that's a goal-setting thing, or do you think that's a problem with fitness, like the industry in general, that people try and focus too much on short-term, like misery programs that they'll just kind of force themselves to do, rather than thinking, right, what is a program I could do for the next 10 years and enjoy it? You think that's something that's like a big problem, or?
Well, I think that's actually partly to do with the way the fitness industry has gone, isn't it? Like every, Tom, Dick, and Harry at the minute wants to be strong and wants a six-pack. It's like, well, the people that are doing that and that have got that have been doing it for a hell of a long time, and they've got, they've got more strings to their bow, if you like. Whereas people want to do it from the start, and they're actually being told, well, this is what I do. Bearing in mind these guys who are telling them what they do, they've been doing it a lot longer, so they're more conditioned to it.
Yeah.
Like for me, as you know, I love to squat. I love to bench. I don't love benching, actually, that's a lie, but
yeah,
I love
surprised.
to. No, it's just powerlifting. You have to, don't you? But it's not my one thing I'd like to do. But I love to squat, bench, and dead, right? But if I tell people how do you get good at that, well, you got to do more of it. They're like, "Fuck, it's hard. I don't want to do more of it." It's like, but I'm telling you what I know. But I know that now because I'm at the stage I'm at. If we took somebody on that had never really done it before, I'd have to take a different approach, and I'd have to say to them, well, actually, I'm not going to make you squat twice or 3 times a week like I do, because you're not ready for it, and you're probably not going to enjoy it, and you're also going to put your kit on and go, "Fuck, I've got squats again today."
Yeah. I think
so you've got to take a different approach with them.
Something that's like, I guess, almost embarrassing to admit for me as a coach is like when I first started, I used to hate that people weren't ready to work hard, because I came from like training rugby players and they're all nutters and you can pretty much tell them to do anything and they will just do it. But then you train someone who's an office worker, they come into the gym at like 6 PM after a long day at work and they just don't feel up for it, and you tell them to drag a sled or something, and they, not that they don't do it, but that they just would be less than enthusiastic about it, let's say. So what I used to do was I'd have an initiation workout and people had to come in and they had to like pass the initiation or I wouldn't work with them. And it was like, see if I can remember it, it was like 5x5 floor press, 5x5 pull-ups, 3 sets of 12 split squats each leg, some jump squats, and then 3 sets of like forwards, backwards, sled drag thingy. Man, it was brutal for unconditioned people. Yeah, that was day 1. That was day 0.
Where's the burpees? You got to throw burpees in if it's initiation.
but to me, it wasn't that bad.
It's good.
It wasn't like I was trying to kill them, but I was trying to see like, how do they commit? Are they mentally tough enough or whatever?
Yeah.
But mate, it was a terrible idea.
Yeah.
I'd like lost so much potential clients from people who just were being sick or they were miserable or they were like, "What the fuck? I'm not doing this."
Have you actually stopped that now?
Yeah, I stopped that like 6 months in. I was like, I'm just going to try and be nice to people and make it more fun to train. Doesn't mean that we don't work hard now. It means that, if someone doesn't do a very good bench press on their first day, just go, "Oh, don't worry about it." We've got.
That's what you're here for.
Yeah, exactly. And I think I was doing jiu-jitsu like 4 or 5 months ago, and a beginner guy came in. I'm a beginner, like complete beginner, but this guy was like literally his first day. Came in, we were rolling at the end, really aggressively sparring, and we just like rolled over into this like older Brazilian dude, like legit from Brazil guy with the accent and everything. I'm not going to try and do the accent, but he was like, "Why are you so aggressive? Like, why are you so angry? Like, jiu-jitsu's a journey for the rest of your life." And he's like, "You don't have to just go at it all the time. You can spend time like learning one thing and improve that and then move on to the next thing." And he probably had a go at me. And I was like, "Oh shit." But I felt, awful. Like, when someone tells you off, you have that funny feeling inside of like, I want to argue. I want to argue, but you're probably right. And then I was driving home and I thought, that's life in a nutshell, isn't it? Like,
Yeah, man.
10 years will go by whether you like it or not. If you
Mm.
want to squat 300 or whatever your goal is, the time's going to go by whether you do the squats or not. So you've only got one chance of doing it. And you don't want to get to 50 and not have achieved everything and just look back and regret. And I think that's an interesting way to look at things, is perhaps we're always going to have that short-term want of getting a goal that perhaps you can't achieve. Maybe you can't get shredded in 6 weeks, but maybe
I think that's what makes you work harder, though.
Yeah.
Whether you're going to achieve it or not is a different thing. But I think exactly what you were saying there, like, yeah, you have to aim for it. Whether you're going to achieve it or not is a different thing. But at the same time, you have to be prepared to be uncomfortable and also be prepared to maybe not get that goal.
Yeah.
But by putting all them together, it is keeping you moving, isn't it, at the end of the day?
Yeah, yeah. And I think
keeping you focused.
And comparing yourself to others is like potentially a big mistake, as we've discovered in business. You look at someone else and you think, wow, they're doing so well. Like, what have they got that I don't have? Truthfully, there's probably just time. Just they put more work in. They probably perhaps know a little bit more than you, but at the end of the day, no real difference other than they're further along on the same journey. But I think people see it as different things. They'll see like a physique athlete on the cover of Men's Fitness and think, oh, that's as almost as if that's a different breed of human. That's a different species to me. I am fat, old office worker. They are Adonis, shredded dude. But we're all human. That's why medicine works. That's why the dosage works for everyone. But it's tweaking, isn't it? Of maybe if you knew more about, don't know where I'm going with this. If you knew more about like a physique athlete, maybe they used to be overweight and they've overcome that and been successful. But all you see is the end result. And I know that's been an issue for me, especially when you're 15 and you're looking at muscle mags, you're like, wow, I want to be massive. You expect to get there in a year, and it's massively disheartening. So what do you say to people? Like, what do you say to your clients or your friends when you see them having those kind of self-doubts?
Tell them to pick the fuck up.
Yeah.
No, I think like to a degree that you've got to be harsh on them as well.
Yeah.
Something that I learned massively, like I'm harsh on myself, right? And if I feel like shit, I feel like real shit. But at some point you have to pick yourself up, right? No one's there to pick me up. So the way I look at it is you have to sort of learn how to pick yourself up. You have to talk to yourself like it's like you're being spoken to by someone that you don't want to quite hear what they're saying, But that's the same. That's what I also say to my clients, because if I told them, if I, made it all cotton wool fluffy shit for them, they're not going to get where they want to be and they'll never learn. Something I learned massively. If somebody comes in with an injury and I address the injury, yes, I'm caring for them and making sure that they're still safe. But ultimately, I'm telling them that injury is going to stop them. Yeah. I'm allowing them that excuse. Somebody puts in our group maybe, oh, I can't come today because I'm not feeling very well. There's no drive there. There's no what shall I do, or do you think, or it's I'm not coming today. So they've committed to it. But if we always let people commit to failure, now it's a harsh way of putting it, but ultimately it is, right?
Yeah.
But if we always let people to commit to it, they're never going to learn. And this is where, to a degree, I think with your clients, you have to be like, I didn't get here because I've taken some fucking fairy dust.
Yeah.
I got here because of sheer grit. It's like, sort of going back to my powerlifting sort of stuff. When I'm actually doing my prep stages and stuff, I'm in fucking agony. I'm in pain. I have days where I'm literally like, I feel like shit and I'm drained, or, I had a big issue with my hip flexor not long ago where it then stemmed into my quad that I had to, every week pay £40 to get massaged. That cost a lot of money and it took me back on my training.
Yeah.
But I still went into the competition and won because I still did what I needed to do to get where I wanted to be. And I think it's a big thing to sort of tell people that we can't, I don't like it when people sort of say, yeah, do this program and you'll be like me. Without going off on a tangent too much, but it's a little bit like the the whole body type thing. I'm a huge fan of talking about body types because they matter.
Yeah.
To me, they matter. It's as simple as that. Like, you're not going to get some, 12-year-old skinny guy, and you're not going to turn around to him and go, "You're going to be a super powerlifter in a year." It's just not. It's not how it's going to be.
Yeah.
Yet you might get some 12-year-old, like natural bloody unit who actually you look at him and go, "Shit, you've got potential when you're older because you actually got a good physique already."
Yeah.
And it's as simple as it is. Like, we are born as what we are. I think we should all find what we're good at and help people like us, and that's why ultimately I like to teach people the squat, the deadlift, the bench, because that's what I'm built for, and it's where I found my passion and what I enjoy doing and what I enjoy teaching.
Yeah, man, that's really good point. I think that's almost, you've summed up mindset in like a sentence. So basically, like you're committing to something, aren't you? Like, if you're not committing to success, you're committing to failure. There's no middle ground.
There's no middle ground. There's no point.
Yeah, it's just off or on. That's it.
Yeah, if you say no, you're gonna leave your house and come to me, and you got halfway, you've not got to me, and you're not at home. Fuck that, you got nowhere.
Yeah.
You need to either drive to me or you stay at home.
Yeah.
There's no point in going halfway and sitting at the service station eating KFC.
Yeah, that does sound fun though.
I'll meet you there. Which one?
Right, let's slow it down a bit. This has been really intense. I don't know where to go from here. That's quality. Man, what we've gone through already. Mindset, the journey, everything. I mean, I think about this a lot. I think like I'm very mindset oriented as a coach, because I think everyone can get strong and everyone can eat clean, everyone can be in shape. But the problem is people put these obstacles in their own way, don't they? But yeah, I think if you can just snap into the commitment thing, like you say, that's huge. So, are you still doing like a daily ritual or meditation? Like, do you do anything to kind of take care of yourself mentally?
Yeah, so something obviously that we was chatting about a couple of weeks ago. I've recently started to read a book, which anybody that knows. Your book is actually still on my desk.
Oh, mate.
Mate, I can only do one at a time.
I didn't even know you could read. I thought you'd been serious about that.
I didn't think I could read. But no,
so what are you reading?
I'm Psychology of Success at the minute.
Oh, cool.
By Alison Price and David Price.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's a great book. But if I'm honest, like, because it's something I'm interested in, I then picked up. I picked it up for the first time, read the first chapter, and I was like, I'm in on that.
Yeah.
I am not a huge book person at all. I'm not a huge film person at all. Yeah. But literally in the last, like, I'd say 3 weeks to a month, I started. Obviously, I'm reading that book. I'm like over halfway through it now, and I'm starting to watch films as well.
Yeah.
So it's just something that I've just recently put into my day, into my ritual of, like, just in the morning I'll get up, coach for 2 hours, 6 till 8.
Yeah.
I'll come home, straight into breakfast, prep my food. That'll all be done within half an hour. Breakfast and prepping, because it's all ready. I just need to get it sorted.
Yeah.
Then I'll come to my room, have coffee, and just read my book for 15 minutes. Then I'll just do I'll do 15 minutes of breathing exercises, just depend on what I feel like on the day.
Yeah.
And then that's my day back started. I'll be back to the gym for around sort of like 10 o'clock, and I have a team meeting on a Monday, or the rest of my day.
Yeah.
And then coaching later on.
So I think it's important, like, even though you do run a business, like, you're reading about business as your you time, because that's something that you enjoy. So I think, like, that could be fiction, or that could be whatever, I guess, isn't it? It's just taking that time out to slow the day down, have a bit of a breath, and have a coffee and a read. I think that's really important. Do you notice, like, if you don't do that for a few days, you feel a bit stressed out, or do you notice any difference in your productivity?
Yeah, I feel uneasy if I don't do it for a few days, definitely. I got out of cycle of it last week for some crazy, because I was setting up all my stuff ready for the strength camp next year.
Yeah.
I was, getting really into that. It was great, but a few days it just took away my time. To be honest, it took away my like breathing and reading time. And then before I knew it, it took away other parts of my day that it shouldn't have been taken away. And then I thought, shit, man, I'm like just now doing all this prepping, but I'm not quite, doing the important stuff, and I wasn't sectioning my day.
Yeah,
I mean,
isn't it crazy how it all like time just seems
collates.
to just like condense together, and if you don't take that time to do nothing, you end up doing less. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think Elliot Hall said like a video a few years ago. I kept watching it over and over again, but he was basically saying like, as a personal trainer and as a coach, your life is about other people. Your energy is given to other people. So the more time you can take off, the more time you can go on holiday and recharge, the more you have to give to those people. And actually it comes full circle that if you're not looking after yourself, you can't help anyone. Like no one's going to come to your gym if you got bags under your eyes and you haven't trained in 2 months and you're putting on weight and you're shouting at everyone because you're angry, and it's just the wrong way to be, isn't it? So it's
You just described me.
whatever.
You've been following me.
Hey, that was just last week when you were doing all that work. Now you're back on it.
No, but we all feel like that, and that's a little bit like about the excuse me, question you asked earlier on. Like, do I feel like that sometimes? And it's true, man. We all do.
Yeah.
But I think something I learned from Chris, like what he said a while ago.
Yeah.
The Crazy Eight system, and I think it's a great way of understanding it. Can you remember it?
No, I can't.
So the Crazy Eight is if you imagine a figure of 8 from left to right there rather than up to down.
Yeah.
And so it's on its side.
Yeah.
The upward part is the parts where your life's going really well, right? So you're going up, your life's going great. I don't know, Mrs. gets home and you get home, your Mrs. made you dinner, this, that, and the other. Life's great, work's good, people are coming in your gym, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then the next thing, something happens, someone cancels, so you start going down.
Yeah.
And then you get a bit lower because someone else cancels, or I don't know, you crash your car and there's a problem, and it sort of like takes you down the bottom of the 8. And then the next thing though, your car gets fixed, so you're back up again. 2 people then join the gym, so you're back up to where you were, and you're back at the top of the 8 again.
Yeah.
And it's basically the idea of it is saying that 8 happens in life regardless. Don't fight it.
Yeah.
And I think it's a huge thing to sort of take away, to think like if you try and fight that Crazy 8 system, and then you're stupid because it's going to happen regardless. So you may as well ride with it, and as things come, jump the hurdle at the time rather than try and jump them too early, or hope the hurdles weren't there.
Yeah. It is crazy how I guess you can look back 12 months, can't you, sometimes, and feel like, what the hell have I done this year?
Yeah.
And it's because, life goes in circles. When you do actually learn to read, there's a guy called Carlos Castaneda. He's like this South America guy. I can't remember where he's from, but I think he's passed away now. But he basically wrote crazy, trippy books about taking mushrooms and stuff in the desert in like Southern California. Whether it was true or not, I don't know, but it's a bit crazy. But he talks about like the warrior spirit, and basically like a big part of being a warrior is surrendering to life and just abandoning yourself and saying, look, here's what I want to do, here's what I want to achieve.
Yeah.
Working, but not really caring what happens. And so if you can do that, that is life and mindset control. And it links back to what we're saying about the journey, doesn't it? If you can just go, right, I expect life to be crazy, I expect things to go wrong, but I'm in it for the long haul. Let's just see what happens. That is bravery, isn't it?
Yeah, no, of course, man. And it's sort of, I suppose it all goes down to how you're brought up and everything. But if you expect things on a plate, like as people say, it's a lot harder to take it when it falls.
Yeah.
But you've got to sort of prepare yourself. I mean, you're in business, I'm in business. We've both got very successful gyms, and your problems will be different to my problems. Yet we both look at each other and, pat each other on the back and say, you got a great thing here, you got a great thing there. Yeah. But we also look at each other and go, that's good that he's doing that. I wish mine was as smooth as that, or, vice versa. And it's just understanding that we all have different areas that we're good at. And again, that sort of goes back to the training side of things,
Yeah.
We're built for different things. If you want to admit that you want to work on your weaknesses, it's a very brave thing to do, but you have to you have to stay grounded, and you have to understand that you're going to get shit thrown your way.
Yeah, and
You know,
I think something that I've always struggled with as a coach is writing programs for myself, and
Mm.
and that's the same sort of thing, isn't it? Like I know, not that everyone has that issue, but I'm saying that I have that issue that I can't write a program for myself because I just end up being like bench press every day or stupid fun stuff
something
that
you
I
enjoy.
want to do. Yeah, so I have to like, I'll get 5-3-1 or I'll get Juggernaut Method or I'll get someone else's program and I'll go, right, I'm just going to commit to this for 12 weeks. I'm just going to do it.
Regardless.
Yeah, and even if I can't be asked or I can't be motivated to do the full thing, I'll just do the main lifts, the squat assistance, the deadlift assistance, bench, pull-ups, and then stop. As long as I do those basic things and it's written out and I'm committed to someone else's vision, then there's no conversation that you have with yourself. You're like, oh,
With yourself.
what if I tweak this today? And then because you're the coach, you go, oh yeah, that's fine. But if it's someone else, you can't change what's written in black and white, can you? And I think that's a unique problem that people don't realize is I love my gym and I love all the programs that we run, but I wish I could train at it on the programs and be coached by the coaches, and be a client, because it's a funny thing to have a gym like that and then, have to train by yourself, have to train with, your training partners, when everyone who comes to the gym can train with a big group, get loads of support, and the program's written for them. But when you're running the program, you just want to tweak it and change it, and you can because you're the boss,
That's why it's good to a coach to have a coach, right?
Yeah, I think everyone needs it. Everyone needs that direction.
When you sign up to my strength program,
plug. Deanstrength.com.
Yeah, no, it's true, man. I mean, obviously, it's just that whole commitment, isn't it, of how far do you want to go in it? It's like anything. Do you want to really wipe out your weak parts? Because if you do, let's work on this.
Yeah, we should do that though. You should coach me through some squatting stuff, because I feel like what we did the other week was very hard. I felt like the weights that are normally light for me felt like I couldn't even unrack them, and so there's a weakness there. I want to address it. Now you've shone the light on it. I'm like, wow, I can't stop thinking about how I fix that.
Yeah,
and trying to fix it the way I would always fix it would take me to the result I've always had, and then that's why you need a coach to say, and stop doing that stupid shit.
Yeah, it's just an outside view, isn't it? You can never look at yourself the same.
Yeah. So sign me up, man. Sign me up. Get my squat up.
This is your accountability then.
It is. I'll put this live, and everyone at the gym's going to be like, did you sign up with Dean? I'm like, it was too hard. Made me squat 3 times a week. I didn't like it. Cool, man. I think that's enough time, unless you want to go through anything else, but that's
no, cool, man. No, it's good to talk. It's good to it's what I'm passionate about. Obviously, the only things I'd say for people that are listening and that want to sort of get over the gap of feeling like you're down at points and you can't do things. Something that I've recently done in the gym, and I've actually not started it myself yet because I've done it with clients because it just seems to work. For me, I'm not sure if it will fully work. But I've started programming people on 3-week cycles, and it's just working like a treat with anybody. Just on the programming stuff, like we'll do the same thing for 3 weeks, we'll better that thing for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And then obviously working on like the smallest changes, like bench presses. Bench press isn't a one thing. You can do bench press with pauses. You can do them with block work. You could do it wide grip, close grip. You could do it with fat grips. There's like, think about it. There's loads of different ways. So every week, keep the bench press in, but change it. Keep the deadlift in, but change it. Keep the squat in, but change it. Then do your accessory work. But we're doing it basically 3-week cycles where we change them every 3 weeks. We work on them for 3 weeks, and it's a nice short period of a time. It's not too long.
Why do you think that's worked better than, say, like a 6-week program?
I think it's simply because people are seeing progression. 6 weeks, you're not going to progress every week. 3 weeks, you definitely see progression.
Right.
So they go through, so they go through week 1, 2, 3. They see progression before they can progress or stall. We then change it, but 3 weeks is enough time to work on it as well.
Yeah.
But because we don't, we're not changing the whole system. We're just changing the program slightly. So we'll still have deadlifts in there. So they'll still be working on their deadlift strength, but there might be a rack pull rather than a full deadlift.
Yeah.
Or there might be snatch grip rather than, you know what I mean? So we're just changing something with it every 3 weeks. It just seems to work really, really well at the minute.
You mean like happiness and enjoyment wise, but also they're getting the training effect. This goes back to what the first thing you said, which was give them what they need, but give them a bit of what they want as well, like what they like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. So you're sort of giving them what they need because you're still, focused on the right rep ranges, this, that, and the other. But you're giving them what they want because obviously you change it up and they're not getting bored.
Cool.
It just seems to work really well.
Yeah, that sounds. Oh, I have to do that now. Is that how you're going to coach me? Yeah, 3 weeks.
That's it. 3 weeks at a time. I'll write your program out.
That sounds good, man. I just started Mass Made Simple by Dan John. Have you read that? Oh, you don't read?
Nope. I can. I'll write it down.
It's basically it's like barbell complexes and high rep squats. It's brutal. It's called Mass Made Simple.
Mass Made Simple. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna get the hard pack as well. I'm gonna start being a hard pack boy.
And it's got a really interesting way of looking at nutrition, and it's like it's a 6 week like mass gain cycle, but it effectively does like you work at like a 5 rep maximum bench press, you do some upper back work, some one arm pressing, and then the main event is like barbell complexes. So you do, I guess for people listening who don't know what a complex is, it's basically like a chain of movements linked together. So I'll pick up a bar, I'll do a bent over row, I'll do a clean, I do front squat, overhead press, back squat, and then good morning. And that's 1 rep. So without putting the bar down, do all those things. That's a complex. So you're basically doing 3 reps. And you can do whatever weight you think you can manage for 3 reps. Like 2 or 3 sets of that. Obviously every day is different because it's a program. And then the last thing you do is high rep squats. But the squats are like set weights, which I thought was interesting. So rather than maybe talk yourself out of it, or even start over ambitiously with the weight, it's literally like the first day is, I don't want to give it away, but the first day is 1 set of 30 with 45 kilograms on squat. So it's not the end of the world like most people can do.
How do they work out the weight for that? Is it down to your body weight or is it just...
No, it's not even worked out. It's literally just, I don't know. It's just like, bam, written in. But
I suppose the weights that they know are achievable though, right?
Yeah.
So it's not going to be a 200 pound or 200 kilogram back squat, is it? It will never be something like that. It's just high reps.
I think it's not going to go up, very much. It'll probably be between 40 and 70 kilograms or something all the way through, but it's getting the volume in on those low weights. Again, comes back to what I was saying, is it's something that you won't be scared of doing, so you'll probably do it. And it's something that you don't have to think about because it's not saying do 30 reps with any weight you want. He's saying do it with this. It's not.
Yeah.
But if that was me, I probably would have gone 60 kilograms.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I would slap 60 on. Can't go less than that. But 45 was hard, man. 45 was like, did 20 reps and had to have a breather and then did the last 10. I think I got to train this afternoon. More accountability. I've got to do 2 sets of 30. So it's, it's going to go up and up and up from there. That isn't even what I want to talk about. I'm just going on.
Who's that? Sorry, Dan
John.
John.
Yeah. But the nutritional stuff is so easy. It's like week 1, have a protein shake before you go to bed and just do that every day. And then week 2, keep doing that, but you're going to have, like a creatine every day. Week 3 is you're going to have pre and post workout shakes as well as creatine and having a shake before bed. And it kind of adds in habits every week. So that's like a really interesting way of looking at it.
Yeah, I suppose it's habit building as opposed to actually telling what food to eat.
Yeah, rather than saying, here's a book on nutrition, go and do it. It's like, this week, let's just do X. Next week, we'll do X plus Y. And then it just builds up from there. So that's, I don't know, it just seems right to me. I feel like I really enjoyed reading it and going through it. And it's not like you, it's not like I don't know the stuff, but it's the way that it's packaged. And I think
Yeah,
if I get something from that, then, clients or people who just want to get in shape and listening to this, that's something that's really important, is just take little steps and add stuff in, stack it up over time.
yeah,
And
no, definitely.
and undercommit to the training. Like, you're better off doing half an hour session that's enjoyable than doing a 2 hour session that you never want to go back to the gym again after doing it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm just ranting.
No, it's good, man. It's a good system. I was just making notes. But no, it does. It sounds good because you rather than telling someone, right, here's the nutrition plan that you need to be on. It's like, no, let's start actually getting your body to react to what changes I know do make a difference.
Yeah, yeah. And
Put the vital things in.
And what if like you say, people get disheartened after a month of good nutrition with no results? Well, what if the past 30 years of eating crap and living on caffeine and not sleeping enough, maybe that isn't going to be rectified by just 1 month of good eating. Maybe it's going to take 6 months of stacking up these habits and going up to the gym consistently, just doing little workouts here and there, and take little baby steps just to get you from negative fitness to baseline, and then we can progress from there. And that's a painful position to self-reflect, to go, maybe I've damaged my body, maybe my hormones are fucked, maybe I have put myself in a position where it's going to take months and months to get out of the debt. It's like being overdrawn, isn't it? You can't just throw money into your overdraft. You don't get it. The bank takes it. You have to get back to zero first.
Yeah, exactly. It's a good way of putting it. But it's just getting them to appreciate it rather than thinking it just comes to them.
Yeah. It's interesting talking about clients when I know they're going to be listening.
There's just one client.
Stop committing to failure.
Anyway, the truth, man. That's what it's all about.
Yeah. I think, and I live it. I'm not going to talk shit about people behind their backs. This is generally what I think. Like you say, that committing to failure thing is massive. Anyone listening to this, commit. Be in or out. There's no in between.
Don't sit on the wall.
Anyway, I think let's leave it there, because we're speaking for like well over 25
36
minutes that I said, but I appreciate it and all your knowledge.
No, it's cool, man. I like to help. I like to be on. It's good to catch up with you as well.
Yeah.
And I will return. I'll return the visit to your neck of the woods at some point.
Yes, road trip back. We're gonna have a burger.
Yeah, definitely, man.
A clean burger.
Yeah, you show me a real place.
Cool, man. Right.
Awesome, man. Thanks a lot, brother.
No worries, man. See you later.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.